What we gather is that Dr. Besigye is in deep coma, unresponsive even to painful stimulus. Yesterday, Dr. Besigye protested while the judge, Emmanuel Baguma Pirato, insisted to ignore the Constitution, insisted to ignore the rules of procedure in the court, call them civil procedure rules, and he proceeded to listen to a fugitive called Orlando, who came to give his so-called evidence against Dr. Besigye. All of you who were there, who could have witnessed, this is what exactly happened. Dr. Besigye, while he protested, he was handcuffed by the prison officers. He continued to protest. Then they arm-twisted him and put his hands behind him. And he cried out, "You guy, you are hurting me. You are hurting me." In that process, we did not see exactly what was happening because they were in a dock. He continued to protest. After a while, Dr. Besigye collapsed. A very short while, he collapsed. That collapse was preceded by a cry out, "You are hurting me, you are hurting me." How were they hurting him? Could somebody have administered something? Because that cry preceded shortly his collapse. Yes, you can think about a faint. Somebody can faint. But while he collapsed, I and Dr. Kamara, a renowned physician, and Dr. Olive Kobusinji, our teacher in the School of Medicine, we were 3 medical doctors who could have assisted the prison officers in taking charge to resuscitate somebody who has collapsed. That was Dr. Besigye. They denied us access to now a person who was a patient before us. We protested and we wanted to approach. They denied us access to our leader. And it took them about 15 minutes to drag him outside the dock and take him to a room down. It took them about an hour in order to bring an ambulance. And the ambulance they brought, it was just having a driver and no medical personnel inside. It took them another 25 minutes to bring in another ambulance with a driver and a nurse. And that is the ambulance that drove him out. What was remarkable and which we want to highlight here, it looks like Mbuya Military, who happens to be in charge of Uganda Prisons Services, no longer has prisons officers. He also has military men in prison officers' uniforms. And I think the military has taken over the prisons as well. They denied us access to a man who collapsed. A man who is our leader, a man who is a relative to some of us. They denied us access. What were they doing with him while he was unconscious? We cannot know. Any sensible officer, especially for a person who is being declared an enemy of the state, according to President Museveni, you cannot remain in the hands of the people who hate you while you are unconscious and you think we shall not suspect anything, especially when we are medically trained. The prison officer, who was a lady with a 3-star 3 stars. I don't know her name. She organized the operation to take Dr. Besigye to whoever it was. Dr. Olive Kobusinje took off time and went to her and asked her for permission to see her brother. And you know what she said? She told Dr. Olive Kobusinje, "You'll find us in Luzira, that is where we are taking him." So we assumed that they were taking him to Merchant Bay. And it would be okay with us if at all he was taken to Merchant Bay, because we would know that it is the prison service that is undertaking his Medicare. They instead took him to Mbuya Military Hospital. To Mbuya Military Hospital. Why did that prison officer deny us information? Why did she have to hide the identity of the hospital where they were taking Dr. Besigye? And it was after that engagement in such a facility that he was driven to the National Referral Hospital, Mulago, in the intensive care unit, ICU. They drove him at night. They did not even have a courtesy of telling the relatives, especially Dr. Olive Kobusinje, who was around. It was through our own intelligence that we discovered that he had been taken to the ICU in Mulago Hospital, and we don't even have access to him.